Hi, I'm Jay Garstecki. Join me in the boat today as we feature U.S. Navy veteran Mike Macko.
They served for us. They sacrificed for us. Their stories deserve to be told. Every military veteran has a story to tell. Join our host, Jay Garstecki, as we honor the stories of our true American heroes, one soldier at a time. The mission today is Operation Healing Heroes. Brought to you by Great Clips. Nestled among the Florida Keys, 44 islands, and 42 bridges, lies the town of Marathon. It's here that U.S. Navy veteran Captain Mike Macko resides and spends most of his days on a fishing boat. Captain Mike is a second-generation captain following in the footsteps of his father. Born and raised in Florida, he's no stranger to these ocean waters.
So how many days do you spend on the water?
I've done as much as 315 days a year fishing.
Wow.
And but I'm right around 250 to 300.
What led you into the Navy? Why the Navy?
Honestly, man, I was young. You know, I got down here when I was 18, and I think I lived here for about 6 months before I moved out of my parents' house.
Yeah?
It was literally, I just woke up one morning, and it just had crossed my mind. Military. No discussion about it. Didn't talk to anybody the day before. Nothing. Literally woke up and just this thought, just random thought, was military. Just to see, just to put a feeler out there, just randomly, and ask questions. Went to a couple different branches and just kind of got a feeler out for it. And sure enough, Navy stuck, and I liked what I heard. And you know, when I finally was able to get all the bugs worked out, and I got where I was going to be stationed, and they said Japan, and it was crazy. So it's Japan, and now I'm back on an island again. So now I'm back to an island. Now I'm on the water. As for my home port, I'm on the water, and I'm in the Navy on the water. So everything is still all water oriented. You know, they gave me 3 options for jobs, and one was EOD, bomb ordnance. My next option was submariner, which I thought was cool, but I wasn't really hip on being under the water for 4 to 6 months at a time on a sub, you know. And then the next was engineering, engineman. And I've been pretty mechanically inclined for the most part throughout my life. My dad worked on everything, mechanic, boats, all that, you know, so kind of grew up with it. So I said, yeah, that's the route I'll go. And I figure if I'm gonna travel, do the Navy, at least I can go somewhere and see something cool and get that experience as well. And sure enough, I got picked for Japan.
Cool.
Which I was pretty stoked about,
yeah.
You know.
So schooling, was that done in Japan then?
No, so my schooling was Chicago still.
Okay.
It was still in Great Lakes.
So you stayed at Great Lakes?
I still stayed at Great Lakes,
So you were there for 8 weeks for boot camp, and then you stayed for
I did another 4 or 5 months of schooling.
Okay.
Yeah.
You are dismissed.
Flew out from Miami after that to Chicago O'Hare, and from there they were shooting me over on the other side of the world. I flew in at 3 in the morning, and I got to that base at about 6 o'clock, and we were already going on deployment at 7 a.m.
Really?
So I was thrown into the fire immediately.
Wow.
So, and it was literally balls to the wall from that time until I left.
Operation Healing Heroes is brought to you by Great Clips, Lake of the Woods Tourism, and by Recon Boats.
Operation Healing Heroes is a nonprofit organization dedicated to documenting the lives of our U.S. military veterans. In addition, we also provide financial support and treatment for post-traumatic stress. Your donation will help heal our heroes.
All right, so I think today, Jay, we're gonna try to put some time in and do a far golf run.
Okay.
You know, between 60 and 80 miles. You know, it's
Sounds like fun. What are we gonna fish for out there?
You know, we're gonna try to target cobia.
Okay.
You know, maybe some kingfish, permit. Woo, she's a blowing cop. We in it today. So I just got my orders for where my actual home port will be, which is Sasebo, Japan. So that's where I will start my 4-year naval career, is Sasebo, Japan. So I boarded the USS Harper's Ferry LSD-49, which is an amphibious ship. You know, once I got on that ship, man, that's when everything hit you right in the face. The reality of what you did and the decision you made to do this, it hit you right in the face real quick. And now I'm walking into a berthing with 40 guys that all are doing the same thing that I'm doing for my job that I don't even know. Look, back then, hazing was still going on. I get on this ship and instantly hazed. Like, for something like that to happen to you, when you already don't know what you're getting yourself into, it was scary. I'm not gonna lie to you. I didn't know what was going on. They're pinning me down. They're pulling tasers out and they're tasing me. And I can't even move away from the taser. You know, it was miserable. It was crazy, crazy. And that was my first experience of getting on that ship. I never said one word about it, never told on them, kept it quiet, stayed right here. And those boys, after all that, those boys that have my back forever. I mean,
what did you do on the ship? What was your job?
So I was an engineman, I was an EN.
So you worked in the engine room in the bowels. You didn't even get to see daylight.
Correct. So I was an engineman, and you know, being 7th Fleet forward deployed, those ships are out to sea all the time. Everything's running. Everything has to run to tip-top shape. Everything has to be perfect all the time. One of the first things I noticed getting on the ship was the amount of piping and valves and butterfly valves. You know, each valve had a dog tag on it that had a specific number. And there was hundreds, there was probably thousands of these. To me, for my job, that was one of the most intimidating things, was knowing that I had to learn every single alignment for oil, for fuel, for water, for steam, and everything was different. Everything had a different valve, everything had a different scenario, everything had a different alignment, and it was just so overwhelming. Honestly, like the most overwhelmed I've ever felt in my life. Yeah, so like my first year was tough. It was hard to adapt to that.
Yeah.
And I mean, and I'm a hard worker, and that was some of the hardest work I've probably ever done in my life. And not only that, the hardest work but with no sleep.
Yeah.
Okay? No sleep. I mean, I do 4 or 5 day stints of no sleep. I remember standing up, taking rounds on equipment, you know, pressures and temperatures, and you got to keep a log every hour of what's happening. I remember falling asleep standing up.
Really?
And straight up with the pen here like this and asleep.
Operation Healing Heroes is brought to you by Great Clips, Lumberjack Lodge, and by Recon Boats.
Coming up, coming up, coming up, coming up.
Going down, going down, going down. If you'd like to see more behind-the-scenes footage, follow us on social media and subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you're a U.S. military veteran in Illinois, Wisconsin, Michigan, Minnesota, or beautiful sunny Florida, log on to our website, takeavetfishing.org, to find an event near you.
Aboard the USS Harper's Ferry, Captain Mike was quickly introduced to the organized chaos of the engine room. A kind of controlled chaos that he brings aboard his charters today.
Here we go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Grab the rock. Rock. There we go. Oh. Open the bill. Open the bill. Open the bill. Here we go, boys.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cobia. First cobia. I've never caught a cobia before, and I guess the first one was a pretty damn big one, so I'm pretty excited. That was fun.
Keep them tight, guys.
Oh.
Keep them tight.
Oh.
Keep them tight. You got another one. You got another one.
What the heck is this thing
It's a
coming right here?
Real. Bull
that,
sharks
shark?
on you. Bull sharks on you. Bull sharks on you. Keep real. Keep real. Cobia on the
I
surface.
see him, I see him, I see him. Watch this. Hey, get this. There's gonna be a shark that's probably gonna smash this thing right here.
Oh, more cobias following him.
Oh.
More cobias following him.
The shark just got it. The shark just got it. Yeah.
Ling ling. Oh, ling ling.
Good luck with that. I was trying to fix
More
it.
cobs, more cobs. Get the bait out. Get the bait out.
I don't have one.
Oh, God, there's 100 of them. Hold this pole. Hold this pole. Hold this pole.
Oh my gosh, look at this.
Look at it. Look at it.
this.
Guys, get your cameras out.
Of course, there will be sharks.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Look at that one right there. Oh, my God.
I've never seen this many cobia before.
Got him. Got him.
Cool, throw them down there.
That's good TV.
Yeah, that was good TV right there.
Wow, there's 50 of them right there.
So with all the pressure of working in the engine room day in and day out, did anything ever go wrong on your watch, or were you lucky enough to not have it?
I've had a couple instances where we caught ourselves in a little predicament with the boiler. Our boiler gives us heat to the ship, steam. Okay, so that way the cooks can cook. So it was that time to where they were getting breakfast going for your morning chow. So they called down, main space, main one. We want to light off number 1 boiler. Main 1, main control, lighting off number 1 boiler. And then we go through our steps. All right, now this is deprived of sleep, exhausted, wore out. You're just a zombie. You're just in that zombie mode where it's just every day, right? We've lit off this boiler 100 times. Super tired. I got me and another guy. We got our EOS open, which gives us all our steps to every alignment, every valve, every system. Okay, that's your Bible. Okay. All right, go through my steps. Good. Look at his book. Good. When we fired this boiler off, we missed 1 step. And now this boiler, it's a big, basically metal box, 2-3-inch thick steel. It's got fire bricks that line the inside that holds the heat. Well, we light this boiler off, and we literally watched the whole boiler flex in and out. Do you know how much pressure it takes to flex 2-3-inch steel box? We immediately saw what happened and immediately knew what we did wrong, and were able to correct it within seconds, okay? Thank God. I say a few seconds of probably splitting that entire ship in half.
Oh my gosh.
Not only killing everybody in the engine room, but probably killing half the people on the upper decks.
Wow.
And I tell you what, I got sick to my stomach. I felt faint. I laid on the deck. I teared up. I looked over at him. He's teared up. And I said, dude, I said, we that close, you know that. I looked right at him. I said, we were that close. And we corrected it. Never told anybody about this. We couldn't.
I'll bet you that image is just ingrained in
I
your
will
mind,
never
right?
forget that for the rest of my life.
Wow.
I can see it right now like it happened yesterday.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
The Panhandle Warrior Partnership is committed to improving veterans' quality of life in Northwest Florida through the coordination of local services and opportunities like housing and employment.
If you'd like to personally thank a veteran that you've seen in one of our episodes, or nominate a veteran to be featured in a future episode, log on to our website, operationhealingheroes.org.
Operation Healing Heroes is brought to you by Great Clips, Norson Construction, and by SKB Cases. Mike and his crew endured long hours of work with little to no sleep. The high stress, compounded with the expectation of perfection, left Mike and his crew itching to let loose during their shore leave.
We hoped that they gave us liberty when we pulled in these ports. Being in Japan, we were all South Pacific, so we were traveling to all these different islands, Philippines, Thailand, Guam, Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore, all these places. So, and that was our quality of life. You know, you got to let loose. And when I mean let loose, I mean extremely let loose. A lot of drinking, a lot of partying, a lot of steam we had to blow off, and I got tied up into that as well. Honestly, rightfully so, because I had nothing. You know, literally had nothing. I had nothing. I had no quality of life, zero. So that was it. So everything that was built up just let loose. Okay, it was a bomb went off, and unfortunately, that bomb caught up with me and bit me. I got enough trouble throughout the first year that I did it enough to where they cut me off for a year.
Wow, so you had to stay on ship for a year?
For a 4-year stint, my first year, I never left the ship.
Oh my God.
So I never got to see any of these countries that we were pulling into. And I mean, I went to captain's mast, and you stand in front of the CO of the ship. He determines your fate. The head guy determines your fate. So now I'm standing with the CO in front of all these master chiefs here, senior chiefs here, all the heads of all these departments. They have to sit in on your, you're in court, basically, okay? They took my pay, they cut my pay in half.
Wow.
And they demoted me in rank. So all this stuff that I worked up to, they took it away.
Gone.
So not only was I stuck on the ship, but I had to go do my job, I had to go do my drills, and then go serve my extra duty after all that, which was cleaning,
for
bathrooms, toilets.
Oh man.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So now I did that for a full year.
Wow.
That put me in a very deep, depressed situation that I could feel myself personally, I couldn't get out of. The camaraderie of my guys and my friends, they noticed that, and they pulled me out of that. I finally just hankered down, got my mind right, worked hard, kept my head low, did what I had to do, ate the punishment.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know I speak for not only myself, but all military families and people across America, man. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
And that's why we do what we do. That's why we do this show, is to honor the men and women who provided this freedom, provided this protection, right? We just want people to understand that freedom isn't free.
Nope.
Men and women, some of them paid the ultimate sacrifice. Families continue to pay the ultimate sacrifice for a lot of these, whether it's their son or their daughters or their, and it's so important that we just show them a glimpse of what our freedom is about, right? It's about the men and women who have gone before us and provided that freedom, but continue to provide it every single day.
Every single day.
Captain Mike, it was your sacrifice that gives us the freedom to do the things we do every day in this country. And for that, we say thank you.
It was honestly one of the best things I ever did in my life. And I would do it all over again. Even though going through what I went through, I would do it all over again. So.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you for your service, brother.
Thank you, man. Thanks for keeping us in the loop and thinking about us, man.
Thanks for keeping us safe.
Because we need guys like you, man. It's a big deal.
Cool.
Okay? It's a big deal.
It's an honor. It's an honor to do this.
I appreciate you, really.
Hey, Mike, I know I speak on behalf of not only our crew, but the millions of Americans across this country that watch this show every day. I bet you even the combat veterans that, you know, we're on those front lines, but you know, it's the unsung heroes. It's the guys who, like you, that were down in those boiler rooms and keeping our country safe. And I just want to say thank you to you. And on behalf of Operation Healing Heroes, I've got a jersey here for you.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Your name on it.
Oh, dude.
Mike Macko. And I hope you'll wear that
cool.
proud.
Oh, man, thank you so much.
And in addition to that, I want to present to you this rod. It's got all the branches of service.
Wow.
St. Croix rod made by
Wow.
Thorne Brothers, and it's
Wow.
got down here on the bottom it says custom built for Mike Macko.
Wow. Man.
For your appreciation, your
Unreal.
sacrifice, and your service. That's for you,
Dude.
brother. Thank you so much for your
No,
service.
man, thank you for letting me be a part of this.
Thanks for everything you do to keep us safe,
and
brother.
sharing my story.
Hey, man.
Means a lot,
I hope
really.
that it helps other veterans out there, especially those other unsung heroes, right? They may not have been on the combat lines, but you know what? They signed on the dotted line just like everybody else, right?
like everybody else.
They
Correct.
didn't know what they were going to do, but they were
Correct.
willing to put forth whatever it took
Yep.
for us to be safe and for
Yep,
free, to be
that's-
free. And I can't say thank you enough, man.
thank
I really
you.
do appreciate
Really.
it, man.
Thank you.
Thank you. If you'd like to personally thank a veteran that you've seen in one of our episodes, or nominate a veteran to be featured in a future episode, log on to our website, operationhealingheroes.org, and click on the nominate button.